Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. MSNBC host Nicole Wallace melts down over Mike Johnson's election as House Speaker. He's the leader of the coup plot. Yeah, okay. All right, Nicole. You're doing very well for yourself as a Republican on MSNBC. MSNBC's Nicole Wallace and a number of panelists took turns melting on over election of new House Speaker Mike Johnson, later claiming that he is an anti-abortion extremist who doesn't believe in democracy. Yeah, he believes in democracy, but we're not a democracy, we're a republic. Wow. Republicans have finally elected a speaker. All it took was 4 votes on the floor of the House, 4 Republican nominees for Speaker, 3 weeks of total paralysis in Congress. I'm going to ask the people out there listening to this. Did your life change at all because there wasn't a speaker? Everybody whose life changed dramatically because there was no speaker, please raise your hand. And an international disgrace for America. Man is now in charge of steering Americans through global crises and a looming deadline to fund the government. Louisiana Republican Mike Wallace, a noted Russiagate conspiracy theorist, said during Washington's edition of Deadline White House. No, PBS voice for that. Deadline White House. I could say that exact same paragraph and use Joe Biden's name instead, and you couldn't defend it. The Democrats screwed up. When Gates went to remove McCarthy as Speaker because he didn't keep his word when he was elected, everybody got on Gates' behind. He ended up being right, but that's besides the point. The Democrats were in a key spot. McCarthy, who was a semi-rhino or rhino, depending on your point of view, was the best person the Democrats were going to get as Speaker. So they decided to put in Jeffries. That way it ousted McCarthy. Then they went through a whole bunch of votes and a lot of clown show stuff, and it's just the way it is. I mean, democracy sometimes is messy. Nobody wants to see how the sausages are made, but they all enjoy the sausage, and we ended up with Johnson. Now, McCarthy, a semi or a full rhino, was in the Democrats' best interest. So now they have a huge supporter of Donald Trump and a mega Republican as a speaker. You guys screwed the pooch. You really did. It's amazing. She didn't claim that Johnson was the leader of a coup plot to overturn American democracy in 2020. Well, let's go back to 2000. How many Democrats tried to get the Electoral College changed and states thrown out for the Electoral College during the Bush-Gore election? That was won by Bush by a hair's breadth in the Electoral College. Yeah, you did 50 times as bad, and nobody called them insurrectionists or a coup attempt. Well, it's also been called a deadly violence on January 6th, while ignoring that the only people who died that day were Trump supporters. Well, it was one, Ashley Babbitt. Rest in peace. It would be no surprise that going into today's vote, Johnson appeared to have the blessing of Donald Trump. Why not? His last night said on his site, True Social, he wasn't endorsing a candidate per se, but suggested that Republicans go with Mike Johnson. Then she turned to Bush-era Republican strategist Stuart Stevens, who described Johnson as Jim Jordan, but he wears a jacket. You guys screwed the pooch, man. All you anti-Republican or anti-Trump rhinos, all Democrats, every Democrat in the House of Representatives, screwed the pooch. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. It's the same thing, you know. There's just nothing here that this is about governing. There's not any sense that could unify these people. I mean, back when we worked for the party, I think you could say that when somebody could stand up and say that there and say, look, you may not like me, You might not agree with me, but we have important stuff to do, Stevens said. So what is their important stuff to do? Investigate Hunter Biden's laptop? I mean, when you think about it, the person who's third in line to the presidency, actually second, doesn't believe the current president is legally elected, so doesn't believe we live in a democracy, which we don't. We live in a republic, and believes that we live on occupied territory. That's kind of difficult to wrap your mind around. Oh, my God. These people suck so bad. MSNBC's Capitol Hill reporter Ali Vitali then complained that Johnson refused to answer when asked if Joe Biden is legitimate president of the United States. Oh, he didn't answer. Meanwhile, in 2016, dozens and dozens and dozens of Democrats got up and said Donald Trump was not a legitimate president, including his opponent, the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. I shouted quite loudly about whether or not he thought the 2020 election results were legitimizing for Biden, and if he believed that Biden was a legitimately elected president of the United States. And he once again ignored these questions because they're trick questions. It's like, excuse me, sir, when did you stop beating your wife? I mean, and so I know some people might say it's in the past, but certainly January 6th in 2020 looms so large over this building every single day. I got to do the, wait a minute. It just hangs in the air. It will never go away. The shame of January 6th. Jesus, shut the up. It's amazing to me. And now you have someone in the presidential line of succession who helped with that rationale in a key way that Republican members of Congress are using as legal basis that were, of course, flimsy and non-constitutional. Oh, you're talking about the Trump indictments? You had me confused there for a minute. But we're trying to use them as a rationale for why they voted against certifying the election results. I think that's extremely striking and speaks to where the party is right now. Yeah, the party you belong to, the Republicans. You're a joke. Absolute joke. Oh, God. Vitale went on to claim that a number of House Democrats were uneasy about how Johnson is third in line for the presidency. Yeah, it's uneasiness. It's hanging in the air. It's hanging in the air. This is the end of the republic, or excuse me, the end of our democracy. It's amazing to me. Nicole Wallace, she sucks so bad. But I got to give her credit, though. She's cashing in. She is cashing in. Speaking tours, making $50,000 plus a clip probably. Her big salary at MSNBC, just to show how balanced they are. It's amazing to me. It truly, truly is. It's so the Democrats screwed the pooch, as the old test pilots used to say, by getting rid of McCarthy. He slow-walked everything concerning the Biden investigation, Hunter Biden investigation, and many other things that Republicans wanted to go after in the Biden administration. But yet, the Democrats wouldn't let him stay. They figured we're going to embarrass the Republicans. We're going to show what a clown show they are, and the American people will see that we're the party that's looking out for them and not clowns like the Republicans. All right, morons, especially Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, now the minority leader and still the minority leader. You're a dog that chases the car. You caught the car. You didn't know what to do. You should have stayed with McCarthy. It was in your best interest. So now a MAGA Republican, huge supporter of Donald Trump, is now the Speaker of the House. You guys certainly this up for yourselves. And the Republicans are the clowns? Sometimes they are. But in this case, you screwed the pooch, Jeffries. And until next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.